I'm Doug Frank with American Legion Post 162, and we're here today to talk with Marko Lovrich, who is a World War II Army combat veteran, about his experiences in the service. So,
Okay.
Good morning, Marko.
All right.
Marko, could you start by telling us where you were born and when you were born?
I was born in Yugoslavia under the Yugoslav flag,
Okay.
but I'm originally Croatian.
Mm-hmm.
That's when my heart is. I was born in 1920, April 22nd, 1920.
So you're just coming up on your 93rd birthday.
Right.
God bless you.
I came to this country October the 3rd, 1935.
1935. So you were 15 years old when you came to the United
Right.
States. Okay. Your whole family came over to the United
I came
States?
by myself.
You came by yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there was the other group of people that I was more or less recommended to keep an eye on,
Yes.
But otherwise, I was going by myself.
Wow. And where did you come to? What's New York?
New York City,
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts in New York City?
Chelsea,
Okay, in Manhattan.
Chelsea area.
Okay. And what did you do when you came to the U.S.?
I went to school for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
I think 3 years, and my father left 1939. He left for Europe. Then I was by myself. I got to go to work. That was the law at that time,
Yes.
that you must be watched by the man who brings you the country in the country.
Yes.
There was no relief. There was no anything like that. You got to be on your own and support yourself.
Yes.
That's what I did. I was working on it till I was working on it till I went to the service.
Were you drafted into the Army?
I was drafted in the Army, yes.
Yeah. Were you an American citizen at the time you were drafted?
No, I was not.
You were not an American citizen. Interesting. Yeah.
No, I was became a citizen in 1942 in, I think, August in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Okay.
Camp Croft that I have a training down there.
Mm-hmm. So when you were in the Army is when you got your citizenship.
Then they give me a judge in Spartanburg,
Mm-hmm.
told us your application will be in, and when you get out of the service, this is your number, send it to Washington, and they send you papers.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what I did.
Yeah. When you were drafted, what were you doing? You were working. What kind of work did you do?
I was working in a restaurant.
Okay.
You might say food handler.
Okay.
At
Yeah.
the time, young kid.
Yeah. And where did you report to duty when you were drafted to do basic training?
To Fort Dix.
Okay. And how long were you there?
I was there maybe 3 weeks.
Okay. And
Then they sent us to Camp Croft, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And what branch? You were in the Army and what infantry?
I was training we was training down there, rifle range and everything else down there.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything there, a big camp.
Yes. Okay. And this was in 1942?
43.
43. Okay. And where did you go from when you were in South Carolina?
From Camp Croft, South Carolina, we went to Hawaii, Oahu,
Okay. And how did you do that? Did you go by boat
by boat, yes.
from South Carolina, or did you go across the
Oh,
country?
by the train.
So you went train to.
The train to San Francisco, Fort McDowell.
Okay.
That's right in the bay. And from there, we went to Hawaii.
By boat. Okay.
And I came down there to Hawaii. The company that I was assigned to was a sea company, and they were in the amphibious training.
Okay.
The place was the Mekua Pocket in Hawaii. That's the valley. They got a big valley down there, and there was all a train down there. You got all the guns position on one side. You go under the fire. Live ammunition. I almost got killed there. 2 guys got killed next to me. They were in the higher ground. I was in the lower. I was lucky.
This is where they're shooting the ammo above your head and you have to crawl?
Oh, yeah. Overhead, yeah.
So, till
from there, we got the range, North Range, they call it. We went down there in the maneuvers down there. That's all in Oahu.
Okay.
From there, we went to, I was there for 6 months. From there, we went to Australia.
Okay.
By boat, of course.
And this was, what, by then 1944?
1943.
Oh, it's still in 43 that you went to Australia?
That was late 1943.
Okay.
Yeah. We got a training down there. Also amphibious training, as well as the overhead fire. You crawl about a couple of 100 yards. If you hit it more than 12 inches above, you might get hit.
Yeah, wow.
That was dangerous.
Where were you in Australia? Whereabouts?
It was, they call a camp, Rocky Glen. There's a town name, Rocky Glen. The camp was a cave. There was a cave about a quarter of a mile away from us, and we went through that. That's what they got in there, a cave camp.
Okay. Yeah.
We was there for 7 months.
7 months in Australia. More training?
Training. We went down there twice, amphibious training, right before we went to New Guinea.
That was the first place you went to from Australia, is New Guinea?
Yeah.
Where in Australia? By Sydney or north? Was it up
Queensland.
in Queensland? Okay, so that's still in the south, yeah.
No town, no nothing down there. Maybe one house there. God knows what the other one down there. You know? There was not too many population. Only in the town that was nearest one is 35 miles away. Small town, maybe 3,000 people. That's all. They was small.
And you were there 7 months in that isolated camp?
Right.
Yeah, that's not too much fun.
Then from Australia, we went to island by the name of Goodenough Island.
Okay.
Rains every single day, 124 inches rain a year. Every day, or rain around 4 o'clock, 4:30. They gotta cancel them, even supper on the lunch.
From the rain.
Yeah, to later hours, because only passes a storm, and that's it. Because the storm goes as far as about a mile away from us, big hill. That's where you see the clouds. That's where you see lightning hits the peak down there.
Okay. Yeah.
You see everything down there.
Was this an island that the Japanese had held and the Americans took back, or was this just a staging area?
Oh, well, that's a stationary area.
Okay.
Marines was there ahead of us, and we took the place down there.
Okay.
You only stay there. You could be 2 hours. You can be there 2 months. You never know.
Okay.
One of those things. You be on alert every single day. Within 2 hours, you have to be moved. You have to move it.
And how long were you there?
Yeah. We was there, I think 1 week, that's all.
Well, that's all.
Yeah.
And then where did you
Then
go?
we went to New Guinea. We went to New Guinea into a Hollandia, New Guinea, Dutch New Guinea, over in Tappan Bay, behind the island down there, and we went down there. We landed on the back door of Hollandia.
Okay. Was New Guinea still occupied by the Japanese when you landed?
They were there, but not we didn't really hit any down there practically. A few of them scattered, you know. We went down there and we landed in Tappan Bay, April 22nd, 1944.
And then what did you do in New Guinea?
We was fighting down there.
You were what?
It was fighting down there.
Oh, you were fighting in New
Oh
Guinea.
yeah, there was
Okay. There was still Japanese.
not too
on it.
many,
Yeah.
not too many, but we got a few skirmishes on there, you know. When we landed, the equipment, gas mask, all our rations, all on the side, too hot.
Yeah.
We was in the jungle there for 5 days. 5 days and 5 nights. You could see no sun practically. We didn't have no food. They couldn't drop it. See, B-17, B-17, yes. They couldn't drop it. They could see us till we come out on open air. Upper land down there, and they drop us on the 5th day, they drop us a ration. And you know, being in the jungle the first time down there, it was scary, you know, and everything else. You couldn't sleep. Eating, forget it. And at the 5th day, we finally J ration. That's a jungle ration. They got a new one instead of C ration. It's better.
It was better for the warm climate, the J ration?
It's easy. You got everything in there, and the taste different. You just got to add it up to water. All dehydrated, of course, you know.
Yes.
So then we continue on. And our object was airport. We went down there. Walk. It's about I said 3 miles on the road. We find a sniper now and then, you know, try to hold us on, you know. And we came finally to the airport, occupied the airport and everything else. There was no Japanese or anybody down there. Everything was wide open. And we select our area down there, secure the area down there. And C-47, that's the only one that could come in on that airfield of the beginning of a short runway. Not only that, a short runway, but the trees was high on both ends. We got to clean it up down there so the plane can slightly goes down there and to the runway. We was there for Dutch New Guinea. We was about 7 months. In the meantime, we was patrolling all our area, across the San Antonic Lake. San Antonic Lake, that's some Dutch name, I guess.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. We were down there, and we were patrolling different areas. But when we came to the place, we captured 5 Japs, 5 lieutenants, and 2 American nurses, and they were like skeletons. Very, very bad. We took the nurses and take them to the roads, and 1 out of the 5 Japs were the friend of girls. He wanted to protect them as much as he could. And they were recommended if that man could be with them, save them, because he tried to save them. And there were, the division commander says, here, okay, that taken down as a prisoner,
Okay.
you know.
So what did they do with those prisoners, the Japanese lieutenants that you captured?
They capture, I don't know, they down there,
prisoner of war?
they got in a shed, but I don't think they lived too long. That's between me and you.
They were also emaciated?
Yeah.
Yeah. How big was the unit you were with?
How many?
How many?
5 altogether.
No, your unit that you were fighting with, your group of the Army, was it a company and a battalion, or how big was the group?
You mean theirs? Oh, my? It was my company, sick company. Yeah, sick company at the time, yeah. And that's the only one we were on, and nobody else.
Okay. And you were in New Guinea 7 months,
Yeah.
and then where did you go?
We went to have, we reorganized, we went to Philippines, Panay Islands, in Philippines. We were there for 10 days. We was waiting for opening, whatever happens, but we was there right behind Panay Island, and we was shipped from Panay Island to Leyte. That's where we started a battle, right there.
Okay.
They were rough down there.
Yeah.
First Imperial Army down there, they were there. And we got rough with them, believe me. They threw everything on them. The napalm bomb, chemical shells. Chemical shells, so you don't want a part of it. If that jelly hits you, it'll burn right through.
Yeah. It's like napalm?
Yeah. And we were down there fighting for 30 days straight. We captured our objective that we supposed to capture it. Then we were waiting for relief, the replacements. It came, we went back. From there,
Did you fight? Did you fight just with Army, or were Marines fighting alongside of you?
no, we was on the Army.
Just
the
the
only 24th Division.
24. And were there any Philippine? I know the Filipinos helped fight along with the U.S. Army in Philippines. Were they involved in any of the battles that you were involved in? Where the Filipinos were fighting the Japanese as well?
Yeah.
They were?
Well, we, no reason now, it was in Philippines, right? Leyte. From there, we was relieved, like I say, after 32 days, something like that, of fighting. We went back in the rear. And we was, there was a rainy season, and with trucks and everything, that would be very good. We went to Tacloban, that's a city down there, and supply ships down at Tacloban Bay. There was a lot of ships. They put us to work on the ammunition, unload the ammunition, because the poor battalion was not enough. And they were good workers, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And we were there for a while, and then on the boat, while we was on the boat down there, I got attacked of malaria. And they shoot me. I was right on the beach there. There was a temporary hospital. Only like a patient like me, make sure they got your temperature measured, give you the medication and everything else. There was no operation or anything like that. We were down there. And who comes down there? on the beach, General Mikado.
Wow. So
He-
did you get to meet him or at least see him coming by?
Oh yeah, we seen him. He came on the boat. He came on the boat. We were not allowed to be closer than 50 yards. He came down on the barge, on the small boat, small craft. He came on it and he landed, and the senator over there, whatever, was talking to the officials, you know. And that's all I see him. Then about an hour later, the destroyer come in. The same boat took him back to the destroyer, and that was the end of seeing the General Mikado.
He had promised to come back to the Philippines when he left. Was this the first time he came back?
I think so. That's the thing that I couldn't swear it, but I think that's the time that when he says I come back to
Yeah. Yeah, that's there's famous video of him coming
Right.
coming ashore.
right.
MacArthur returned as he had promised. With him from the amphibious force assembly point 1,000 miles away, MacArthur brings power.
Well, then we went to from Leyte we went to Mindoro Islands, which is north of Leyte. And we were down there for rest. We stayed there about 2 months. Check up physics and everything else. Everything was in the book, whatever it was on there. And we there stayed about 2 months, and we was on a or they either go to north or south, Mindanao Islands. We finally wind up in Mindanao Islands.
That's part of the Philippines. That's one of the main islands of
Yeah.
the Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah, we went down there by Zamboanga. I don't know if you never heard of Zamboanga. Do you remember Bing Crosby road to the Morocco, road to Zanzibar? This is the road to Zanzibar, right? We passed about quarter of a mile away from the shore. The Filipino was fighting down the Japs. Then we moved further south with the LCIs and went to the river down there, Trappers, whatever, as long as you could go further in the land, you know. And we went to through the Moro country. Moros, they don't like nobody. They don't like nobody at all. They don't want to be associated. They don't want not the Japs or us or anything. Nothing. You could do it. But we warned them. We was right outside of their small village. Not to mess around. We got to put them machine guns on it and everything, crossfire and everything else. Secure the area, you know. No, we didn't have no problem. We didn't have no problem with them at all. We move around.
Were you in combat then too? You were in combat in New Guinea, and then you were in combat in Leyte, and now this was again you were fighting the Japanese, where you are now as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were Mindanao Island. We went to 180 miles away from the place that we landed to WWII Bay. That's WWII City or WWII Bay, whichever do you want, the same thing. Nice town. We went down there. We was fighting quite a bit down there in between landing to the on the place to the city down at Duval. A lot of fighting to do.
Marko, by this time you had been fighting in combat for months, with time off in between to recuperate and all. What kind of experiences did you see in combat? Were there heavy losses among the Americans that you in your company? Were there a lot of men?
Quite well. Not too many there. Not in Mindanao. Not in the late years.
Yeah.
Mindanao was casualties, yes, but not as bad as Leyte. Leyte was bad. Mindanao. We went Duval down there. From Duval, we went further north, and we contacted the enemies down there again. We were pinned down a few times down there. I was with the lieutenant. It happens to be we were on two machine gun, and on the crisscross roads. The machine gun was covering up the road, and he then that John Wayne, you know, with the arm like that, a bullet went right through his arm.
Wow.
And look, I think we was on the road with the slow down, you know, like a ridge. Their machine gun was fired down there, hit the dirt, rocks and everything else. You gotta be careful because that rock is just as bad as bullets.
Yeah.
And this lieutenant, I was next to him, and I says, we're all over to the ditch on the side. The ditch on the side is, there was a banana plant about 8 to 10 feet high. I says, go down on there, let me take care of your arm. I took his first aid kit down there. Didn't look like a crack or anything like that, but there was a bullet going right through. I patched it up, and on the way the following day, it was done, the sundown already when that happens, and we stay in the area down there, just keep quiet, watch yourself, and that's it. And the following day, he went to the aid station to take care of him down there properly, and I didn't see him again. Nice guy, Robert Malone. I never gonna forget that man.
Yeah. By this time, Marko, you had been in combat yourself against the Japanese. Did you have any experiences of shooting anyone, or at that point in time?
I'm coming to that. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, quite a few. Yes, I see that. My Tommy, I used to have a Tommy gun. There was ridges on it. Every time I killed one. But once in Leyte, we ran into a machine gun. And lucky thing, the company was dispersed properly, you know. And machine gun was right over here, and the rest of the group was over here. I was down here by myself. And I seen a machine gun. I did have experience with a machine gun, Japanese machine gun in New Guinea. I know the way they operate. It has to be 3 men to operate the machine. I was about 100 yards away from the machine gun. My Tommy gun cannot reach that long. 75 feet is the limit that is effective bullet. After that, nose dive, you know. So I crawled on my knees and hands for about 50 yards. And I still pray today don't laugh now when I say this. Marijuana tree, bush. I never seen any marijuana big bush like that. That protect me. I crawl over. When I reach about 15 feet,
That's close.
15, 20 feet, when I reach there, and I look, I didn't see none of them. I didn't see none of them ever. And I listened to the sounds, the way the sound is. And when I put myself on the spot, I went down there and I put myself in a position that I can hold myself down. There was a three of them down there, and I got a clip over 30 rounds. I shot them all down there, three of them. I didn't see him, but the man that was over there, it came to me when we went on the back. He says, you know, you killed 3 guys on the machine gun. I says, come on, yeah? He says, yeah. The company commander wants us to withdraw. Let's get out of here. They don't want to even go see it down there. The guy told him, machine gun is out, it's dead. He said, this man killed him. He doesn't want to know. Just withdraw back and that's it. But that's the way it goes.
You saved lives by doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Marijuana tree. People laugh. People laugh, but that's a fact.
Yeah.
That tree play a game in it. My game, my with me.
So then, when you withdrew, where did you go next?
And next I would do rescue group down there about 150 yards behind. There was a hill high behind down there. Then we were, it was in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, and there were rainy season. Rain, cats and dogs. Then we went down there to on the other side there was the more or less more bushy area, like trees and everything else, protect ourselves. The following day, we took go back to the roads. It just company commander said, "That's all I wanted. That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. That was our object, and that's it." When he tell you it's his object, there
Marko, when was this? Was this 1945 now?
early 45.
Okay.
Yeah. Down Mindanao, down there, well, my lucky day down there. When 3 days later, Lieutenant Waddy got a hit over here, I got it through the neck.
In Mindanao. Yeah. Was it a sniper or that shot you?
No, it was the 2 guys in a hole, in a foxhole. I seen them. I seen them when the bullets hit me over there on the left side, knocked me on my ass. Then I went back. The A come in, the first aid man. They want to carry me. I said, "Oh no! You're not going to carry me." I says, "I can walk." They carry you. You're a perfect target. You know. I walk about a quarter of a mile to the road. Quarter of a mile to the road, and was in the hospital for about 6-7 days. And it's a muddy area, rough. And they asked me if I wanted to go to the hospital, general hospital. I said, no. I say, here, but the goddamn shells came over from Japanese artillery. I went to the to the commander down there. I says, Commander, I says, I'm ready to be shipped out. He says, why, what's the matter? I said, yeah, things getting hot over here. Then I went to Leyte Hospital, 126 Hospital in Leyte. They took care of down there. wasn't too bad. On the beach was very nice. The only thing is, patients gotta take care of each other. Not enough nurses. And our case was just give you a rub down, you know, and the bandage, if you want to do it yourself, but the nurse has to check up on it, you know. She didn't have the chance to go to every one of them. But it was nice then.
And how long were you in the hospital there in Leyte?
In the hospital, I was in Leyte, I was at 2 months. Yeah.
Okay.
That's when the A-bomb fall out on the Tokyo down there, Japan.
So that's where you were when the war ended in Japan. You were there also in when the war ended in Europe as well. How did you hear about the war ending in Europe, which was in April, I believe, or early May? You were in the hospital then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a jungle rot.
Oh.
Jungle rot, my hands like that. I got the ringworms, you know, like Valentine rings right there, all over. And that was itchy and everything else. I got to be baked and massage it and put a salve on it and everything else. It wasn't picnic, I can tell you that much.
And what was your rank? You were a sergeant when you got out? Were you a sergeant when you were in the Philippines?
Yeah, I took the sergeant. I turned it down 3 times. I was PFC, and I said I want to stay at PFC. This Lieutenant Robert Malone, he told me, he says, I excuse you for the last twice. Now it's an order. He said, you gotta take it. And when you say order, you ain't got no chance. You just gotta take it.
Why didn't you want to be a sergeant?
No, too much responsibility, and it's your neck.
So when did you become a sergeant? Before you got to the Philippines or after? While you're in the Philippines?
I became a sergeant on Good Enough Islands.
Oh, really?
Before we went to New Guinea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in the hospital in Leyte when the war ended?
Yeah.
You were awarded the Purple Heart for the wound you got when you were shot?
Yeah, and that's the Purple Heart and the good conduct.
So you came back, you were separated in February of 1946 from the Army?
Right, in Fort Dix.
Yeah, in Fort Dix. So you came back by ship?
From Philippines.
Okay.
I experienced 3, what do you call it, is that
Typhoons.
not hurricane?
Typhoons.
Typhoons, right.
On the way back?
I experienced 3 of them. One of them going to Philippines, 60 feet wave deep. I was on an English cruiser, heavy cruiser. It has a mine storage, laser mines, and pickups and mines. That one, that was going to Philippines. Oh, they pick up the rough weather. They knew they're coming in, but they want to clear up make sure that the troops got a clear area down. No submarines. Submarines can't get up. Would turn over.
So did you have a typhoon on the way back to the United States as well?
Just going out of the Leyte, about, I think it was one day, and we got a typhoon. That was typhoon, if you remember, Taiwan. Taiwan hit it with 145 miles an hour. And a lot of Navy, American Navy was barges, more or less. They were damaged. Navy went to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
They went away that land. So they play safe on the outside. They couldn't get no submarine down there. Nothing, so they were safe. But the small craft, a lot of them were damaged.
Yeah. Marko, did you come directly back from Leyte to the United States, or did you stop somewhere in between?
We came to Seattle, Washington, straight from the Philippines.
Straight from the Philippines, okay.
Yeah,
How did you get back from Seattle to the East Coast?
by train, yeah.
Train? Okay. Was this in 1946?
1945.
45?
Late 45,
Late 45. Okay.
yeah.
Did you separate from Fort Dix?
Yeah, well, I was in the hospital in Fort Dix for about 2 months.
Oh, still in a house, okay.
My hand jumped right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Swelled up like nobody's business, and they were calmed down and everything else. But as soon as I go on the pass, beer affects it.
Oh.
It must be the hops, whatever it is, affects it, swells up. And as soon as I start drinking down there, drink more water, clears it up slightly.
Wow.
And the guy that cured it was a civilian a doctor.
Marko, do you have any residual problems about your injury before you got out?
I was all right. This was all right.
It was okay?
Oh, this was okay. No problem with this.
Okay.
I know, no problem. Slight. There, you know, I don't care what anybody says. When the bullet goes through your neck, that's your main thoroughfare, I would call it.
Yes.
You must hear it, something. It was slightly stiff, yes, but works that out. I mean, it was all right. No problem.
Marko, what did you do once you left the Army?
Oh, I got out of the Army. I was on the 5220 club for a while. Then I worked longshoreman. Extra money. Longshoreman was extra money down there. It was not bad, but not enough. So I went back to the, my cousin owns the restaurant, and he needs the help. He says, why don't you come over? And I did. I says, okay, I'll try it. I say, if I don't like it, I won't be there, I says. I spent with him 25 years.
Okay. And
I became a manager of a place.
was this in New York City?
New York City, yeah.
Marko, what year did you move to Hillsdale?
I moved in July 20th, 1970. I was married. I was married in 1948.
Okay. And how many children do you have?
Two girls.
Marko, when did you retire?
I retired from, I was working for, I moved down in 1970, like I say. Place closed up down there. I worked for the Opera restaurants in Inglewood Cliffs. I was there for about 10 years. And I left there, and I playing over on seemed not steady, and I retired.
Marko, when you look back on your time during the war, what is the most significant thing that you remember about it?
We have a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun with the guys on the thing. You know, men's talk and everything else. You know, I like that. Then I was going to back, I was even asked if I want to go to islands, White Island down there to be a worker with the construction jobs. They needed construction workers. You could have done that. I wanna before I left here late down there on my point system. I asked the company whether could they were going to Japan for in a 2 weeks time. They were going to Japan. I said, can I stay with the outfit till I get to Japan? I want to see Japan. He says, no, you can't. You gotta, you on the list for point system. You're going home. You want to stay in the army. You gotta sign for 2 years.
Okay.
And I couldn't see that. I mean, I'd like to go see Japan and everything else, but you got to sign the 2 years. Then they went to North Korea down there, South Korea.
I know I've worked with people who had fought in the Pacific in years past, and many of them had very strong feelings about the Japanese after the war. How did you feel about?
They didn't like the Japanese at all. They didn't like the Japanese. I know the Philippines down there. Wabuhay, that's all you hear. Wabuhay Yankee. That means long live Yankee, you know. That's what that's all I hear from them down there. And they wanted cigarettes.
Marko, on your discharge, it states you were awarded the Asiatic Pacific Service Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, which you're wearing, the Philippines Liberation Ribbon, the Purple Heart, which is one of the most significant medals an American can have, and the World War II Victory Medal. Quite an accomplishment, all these medals. And I want to thank you for your service that you provided to the country, and I think it's a great American story that someone who wasn't even a citizen at the time was drafted in the Army and fought for the United States and was wounded and came back. To me, you're a hero.
You know, you remind me of a judge in Spartanburg, South Carolina. There was about 200 of us, all aliens. That man, he was a speech that I can't forget. I don't know the words and everything else, but the speech he done he was proud to announce it as an American citizen. That was honor. From him below, I couldn't believe it. A man from South, a rebel down there, don't want to congratulate him, but he was told to do that. I'm sure. He was a very nice judge, very nice.
Marko, thanks for taking the time to talk to us about your experiences during the war. We really appreciate what you've done and the time you spent today.